Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we're going to talk about stratagems for Space Marines. And I have to admit, I have a bit of a confession. I made a bit of a mistake on Wednesday. When we were talking about chapter tactics, I kind of got caught up in the sudden influx of information, the fact that we suddenly knew what the chapter tactics were for the Codex compliant chapters, and I kind of allowed that to, I guess, distract me from the fact that the chapter tactics aren't the only things that will apply to the Space Marines. I totally just eliminated the stratagems that you also get with the Space Marine chapters and kind of focused on the chapter tactics alone, taking them in isolation. And in a way, that is a very serious mistake to make, because frankly, some of these stratagems that the chapters get, well, they're pretty damn awesome, and they combine with the chapter tactics to do hilarious things by the look of things. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a quick glance at the stratagems and just have a general chat about whether we think they fit or not, whether we think they work or not, whether we're disappointed, whether we're happy. Pretty much the same as Wednesday, but better, because now we have the chapter tactics to put these alongside, which is quality. So let's start off in order, the order of just how they're opened in my browser. Let's start off with the salamanders. So, salamanders. Funnily enough, their unique stratagem, Flamecraft, greatly boosts the power of flamer weapons of all shapes and sizes, while their unique character Volganistan offers further benefits to generals who want to bring heat to the battlefields of the 41st millennium. So, funnily enough, salamanders all about flames. Now, there's nothing specific in there. It's just it boosts the power of flamer weapons of all shapes and sizes. And as far as I can tell, having had a quick run through, it doesn't seem to give any particular specifics, apart from telling you that you will really want to equip your aggressors with Flamestorm gauntlets, as these powerful weapons benefit hugely from Flamecraft in the shooting phase and gain deadly accuracy from Master Artisans in the combat phase. Oh dear, that sounds quality. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And it is very, very salamanders. I've also just noticed that I'm getting darker and darker. I've reorganised the office, as you can probably tell. Lighting is a bit of a thing at the moment. It will be fixed, don't worry about it, but for the moment I'll just have to talk to you from the darkness. If only I had a flamer to create some light, that would be ideal. So yeah, I have to admit, I said at the time when we were looking at the Salamanders chapter tactics, and I'd completely forgotten about the fact that stratagems even existed, I was like, it'd be nice if we had more flame-based stuff, because they are salamanders, and it turns out I opened my mouth far too soon, I spoke too quickly, and I was full of garbage, because they are getting a flame-based stratagem, which is awesome, because that's exactly what you want from your salamanders. You want them to be fire-toting nutcases. At least that's what I'd like to see anyway. Next up, let's talk about Raven Guard. Hang on, let me see if I can up the light a little bit. Oh, hey, there we go, that's a bit better. So, let's have a quick look at Raven Guard. One of the most exciting new features of the Raven Guard is their unique stratagem, Strike from the Shadows. You want to pack as many command points as you can into your list to take full advantage of this, allowing you to hold units back at the start of the game and deploy them anywhere more than 9 inches away from the enemy just before the game begins. And I love the examples they use here. There's a huge range of ways to use this, getting a group of Hellblasters or Centurions into strong firing position, setting up a devastating first turn charge with an Assault Squad or Inceptors, or just forcing your enemy to deploy defensively. Now, it is tied to command points, as they point out. You'll be able to choose how you use it, but you will have to have command points to use it. Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh my god. When you consider that Raven Guard have also got the chapter tactic of your opponent subtracting 1 from any to hit rolls when shooting at Raven Guard units if they're more than 12 inches away, that stratagem is immense, and I am loving it. I was unsure as to what chapter my my Primaris army was going to be. Not anymore, no. No, I'm going to go Raven Guard, and I'm going to pile horrendous amounts of firepower just in the right place after deployment, and just 12 inches or so away, probably about 13 inches. You know, just to really hammer it home, because I'm loving that combination. Difficult to hit, from far away and able to just outmaneuver you at the start of the game. That's quality. That is 100% Raven Guard. It sounds a bit crazy, I have to admit. There's part of me that's like, that sounds a bit mental. That sounds a bit like, maybe not overpowered, but it certainly seems strong. But other armies are going to have ways to get around that, and they're going to have their own unique strategies and tactics and all that stuff anyway. So it seems crazy right now. I don't think it'll be too bad in practice, hopefully. But yeah, I'm loving that. I'm absolutely loving it. That is 100% what I'd like to see from Raven Guard. It's just, it screams it, you know? It screams Raven Guard. Okay, let's talk about White Scars. So, this is also mental, and I'm loving it. So, as well as chapter tactics, there's a range of ways to further customise your White Scars. Corsara Khan is as powerful as it ever was, awesome, and its unique ability for the Khan boosts the strength of charging White Scars unit, combined with their chapter tactics can be very hard to defend against repeatedly getting charged by a White Scars army, which sounds about right. The White Scars stratagem, born in the saddle, allows White Scars bikers to advance, shoot, and charge, meaning that each biker has a potential threat range of 26 inches, and you'll be able to hit your opponent hard before they're even able to react. So, having just said yes please to Raven Guard, the idea of having bikers with a threat range of 26 inches is hilarious to me. So I might have to do Raven Guard with White Scars allies. It's just going to be filth. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, again, this is... Actually, I'm really liking the stratagems because I felt like certain chapter tactics were like fluffy but not interesting. I'm already coming to the conclusion that actually to take them in isolation the way I was doing is dumb, because you're missing out on half the fun. You're missing out on half of what makes the chapter that chapter. I'd completely disregarded the fact that we were going to get stratagems to go along with them, and I mean, again, it's pure White Scars. They're all about speed. They're all about lightning assaults. This is exactly what I want to see from a White Scars army, and having that ridiculous threat range on bikers is perfect. And you know, I thought the chapter tactic was good. You know, I didn't have any problem with the White Scars chapter tactics at all. I thought they were quality. But this is just like the cherry on top. It's like the icing on the cake. It just makes it that much better, that much more fluffy, that much more interesting. And yeah, I'm liking that one as well. So far, no complaints here at all. I'm loving this. Right, next one is Iron Hands. Again, not in any particular order, just because that's the order they're open in Chrome. Terrible way of doing it. Don't do that. You know, sort yourself out properly, for God's sake. So, while chapter tactics don't usually apply to vehicles, Iron Hands armies will still be able to take full advantage of the chapter armory thanks to stratagems. So they get the ones that are available to other Space Marine armies. But the Iron Hands machine empathy lets vehicles move and shoot without penalties to hit on their heavy weapons, and even advance and shoot without penalties for their assault weapons. Even the humble Razorback can be transformed into a deadly forward assault tank, although the biggest beneficiary of this tactic will again likely be Dreadnoughts. An Iron Hands Redemptor Dreadnought armed with a heavy onslaught Gatling cannon will be able to move on the foe with terrifying speed while maintaining a steady rate of accurate fire. Oh dear lord. Also, they make a cheeky reference to Chapter Master Smash Fucker right there, which I'm loving. So this is actually making it more difficult. I've already said that, yeah, Raven Guard are the way to go, because I love the idea of their chapter tactic and their stratagem. I'm not bothered about the Salamanders one, but then I've always loved other people's Salamanders armies, but never had really an inclination to start my own, if that makes sense. I also really like the White Scars one, because that seems quality. That seems like it's not only fluffy, but actually really quite good as well. And now the idea of because I'm pretty sure Redemptor Dreadnought has got an 8-inch movement profile when it's undamaged. That's great. Being able to move 8 inches and fire heavy weapons is awesome. And it's just 100% Iron Hands. I'm pretty sure as well that the wording of the actual chapter tactic for Iron Hands, it says that it's roll a dice each time an Iron Hands model with this tactic loses a wound. And if it's an Iron Hands model, then that to me suggests that vehicles can do it as well. So it's nice that they've kind of clarified that a bit with while chapter tactics don't usually apply to vehicles, because it does say don't usually apply to vehicles, and the wording of the of the chapter tactic does suggest that it's model, not infantry. It's not getting any sort of keyword attached. It's just an Iron Hands model. So that is nice to have that clarification, and to think about the fact that vehicles get it as well, which is quality. Now on to the last. No, there's two. What we'll do is we'll cover the Black Templars first. So they get their own unique stratagem, which is an interesting one. It's totally different to the others, which I quite like. I quite like the fact that they've got something a little bit different, a bit more. I don't know. It's just kind of unique so far. So the Black Templars get the unique stratagem abhor. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Go away, witches. Abhor the witch. That's probably it. And that is the Black Templar stratagem. The Black Templar's zealous hatred of rogue psykers and heretical sorcery steels their minds and bodies against psychic assaults. And this is fucking hilarious. Use this stratagem when an enemy psyker manifests a psychic power within 24 inches of a friendly Black Templar's unit. Roll a d6 on a 4+. That psychic power is resisted by the sheer willpower of your unit, and its effects are negated. On a 4+. On a 4+, you can just tell enemy psykers to... You can just be like, no. Not having it. Piss off. No. And they do. It just stops it by sheer willpower. So Black Templars don't have any psykers, but they can, just by the sheer fact that they do not like psykers, can just shut a psyker down. That's... It's so dumb. It's really dumb. It's funny, and I like it, but Jesus Christ. I just love the idea of, like, I don't know, like just a standard, just a neophyte being within 24 inches of a psyker, and the psyker just starts doing something, and a neophyte just points at him and goes, "Oi! Cut that out." And the psyker just goes, "Oh, sorry, yeah, no, sorry, I'll stop." What? By sheer willpower alone. Fantastic. So yeah, that's the Black Templars, and it clearly makes up for the fact they don't have any psykers, because they can't, you know, that's good. That is objectively good. Then you have to just deny psykers on a 4+. That's crazy. It's got a 24-inch range, but still, that's nothing to be sniffed at. I'm liking it. I'm liking the Black Templars one. Again, very fluffy. I would have liked some sort of reroll to hit somewhere on charges, but I'll take being able to shut down psykers just out of anger. I'll take that. It's so dumb. Finally, Imperial Fist. Now, I didn't make a boo-boo, but I didn't really think through how good the Imperial Fist chapter tactic was when we talked about it on Wednesday, and it's been pointed out that really enemy units not receiving the benefit to their saving throws of being in cover against attacks made by Imperial Fist is a lot better than I thought it was. I don't know why. I focused way too heavily on the aspect of attacking buildings, and I kind of brushed over the saving, like the removal of benefits for saving throws in cover. It's actually really pretty good, and when you combine that with their unique stratagem, Bolter Drill, which allows for you to drown enemies and devastatingly accurate fusillades of bolter fire while leaving their unique relic, the Spartan. It's a bolt pistol. I'm assuming that for Imperial Fist armies, if you are attempting to seek cover in the ruins, you are going to get absolutely bolted to death to a ridiculous degree. I wouldn't be surprised if Bolter Drill doesn't see some... Well, it doesn't really see any changes, to be honest, from the last edition, because I seem to remember it was re-rolls to hit on ones. It may well be something very, very similar to that. It could be either just re-rolls to hit, which would be massive, I have to admit, but then again, it's actually similar to what Salamanders get, but then that's only for a single fail to hit and a single fail to wound. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see. It might well be that Bolter Drill remains being like, if you roll a 1, then you get to re-roll, but if it applies to all forms of heavy bolter, you know, everything from a bolt pistol all the way up to a heavy bolter, all the Inceptor's mental assault bolters, that is going to be quality. That is going to be really good. And I have to admit, again, I'm impressed with all of this stuff because it's all fluffy. It's all fluffy, it's all good, it fits every army. I know we don't have specifics on Bolter Drill and the Salamanders, flame thing, whatever it's called, Flamecraft. I knew it was something to do with flame. Whilst we don't have specifics, I'm guessing they're not going to be too far removed from previous from previous stuff that we've seen. I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. I thought I was getting bored of Space Marines. I have to admit that the chapter tactics and the stratagems that have been unveiled so far, I'm really enjoying kind of reading this stuff, and it's genuinely giving me a sense of not being 100% sure what to go for, because every time I look at the combination of chapter tactics and stratagems now, instead of it being, well, that's the best chapter tactic, or I like that chapter tactic more, or whatever, instead they all seem to be good. They're all very thematic, they're all, you know, they're all fluffy, they're all interesting, and they all work for the armies that they've been given to. So yeah, overall I'm impressed. I'm really liking the way this is shaping up, and surely not being able to choose which chapter you go for your successors, because they are all good, is nothing to complain about, and that's exactly how I feel right now. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Are you enjoying the new stratagems? Do you think they look good? Do you think they look interesting? Do you think that they fit the chapters properly? Is there one that you think is stronger than the others, and if so, will you use it, or is there one that you feel doesn't quite match the potential of the others? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. There's all the usual load of nonsense all over the screen, you know, Patreon, subscribe button, a couple of videos, all of that stuff, and I will see you next time. Toodaloo.